Good morning. It is October 17 and I am in Window Rock, Arizona, and I am doing the Navajo Nation's Trail. The trail starts off at the Navajo Museum, but it's Sunday and so it's not open, sadly. But the surroundings look amazing. I think this is going to be a really cool hike. Look at this massive, what do you call it, mountain, a rock, boulder, huge. Yesterday I went to church at the All Nations Seventh-day Adventist Church in Gallup, New Mexico. And it really is, I really like their name because it is a melting pot of different ethnicities there. So if you're in the area, I can recommend this church. It's very warm. A nice Filipino lady invited me to her house. So I got to stay the night in a nice warm bed, not in my car, because it's been below freezing the last few nights, so it's very much appreciated. I love hospitality is such a gift. I asked a Navajo church member if we needed special permission to hike this area, and he said no, anybody can come here and hike it, even though it is a reservation area, I guess. But anyways, very grateful to be here and hike this wonderful land. Well, you can go either to the left or the right, but good thing I downloaded my All Trails map, and this is the way to go. Oh, I got a big rock to walk on. Cool. You wouldn't want to do this trail in a rainstorm, that's for sure. Be pretty slick. Pretty neat. Well, back to hiking through the Bible. The Philistines, well, they always seem to time their raids on Israel right after the harvest to plunder their goods. So one day, while David was in hiding from Saul, he heard about the Philistines robbing the threshing floors. He inquired of the Lord if he should go and fight them, and the Lord said, "Go and attack the Philistines, but save Keilah," which is the name of a town. And the Lord promised that he would be with them and deliver the Philistines into their hands. I'm assuming I don't have to go through that gate when this gate is open. But I will get back on the trail here. And so they fought, took away their livestock, and saved the inhabitants of Keilah. Well, Saul heard where David was, and so he was gloating. God has delivered him into my hand because he has shut himself in by entering a town with gates and bars. I sure appreciate these trail signs, though. They do help. Getting steep. Oh, could have been a seat. Oh, this is cool. Oh, this is so special. Oh, these carved out steps. That is so neat. Too bad there's graffiti though. Oh. Well, then David heard that Saul was coming to get him, so he called Abiathar the priest to bring the ephod. Then he inquired of God, saying that he had heard that David was going to destroy the city of Keilah in order to capture David. And so David wanted to know if the people of Keilah would betray him and give him to Saul. God said yes. So David and his 600 men left the city. And Saul heard about it, so he halted the expedition. So David and his men hid in the mountains of Ziph, and Saul sought him every day. Some more steps. Then Jonathan finds David in the forest and encourages David and reaffirms his support of his future leadership. These are the last recorded words of Jonathan. After the visit of Jonathan, David was encouraged and wrote the words of Psalm 11. In the Lord I put my trust. How can you say to my soul, flee as a bird to your mountain? For look, the wicked bend their bow, they make ready their arrow on the string, that they may shoot secretly at the upright in heart. If the foundations are destroyed, what can the righteous do? The Lord is in his holy temple. The Lord's throne is in heaven. His eyes behold, his eyelids test the sons of men. The Lord tests the righteous, but the wicked and the one who loves violence, his soul hates. Upon the wicked he will rain coals. Fire and brimstone and a burning wind shall be the portion of their cup. For the Lord is righteous, he loves righteousness. His countenance beholds the upright. Oh, interesting. A dam. Tiny bit of water down there. No water over there. I guess they're hopeful. Some sandy walking now. Oh, we got lots of options here. West Loop, East Loop, museum back, I don't want to go there. Fish and Wildlife Trailhead, Window Rock Arch. Well, yeah, I want to go there eventually. Well, let's take the West Loop. We'll do this loop clockwise. Looks like horses are allowed to come on here. Well, wouldn't you know it, the people of Ziph snitched on David and told Saul where he was hiding, and he got excited. Well, then David found out that Saul knew where he was. So he left and went to the wilderness of Maon now. Such a hide-and-seek game going on. A messenger told Saul that the Philistines were attacking, and so he had to give up on David for a while to go deal with the Philistines. So David was able to escape to the stronghold of En-gedi, which means spring of wild goats, an oasis renowned for its vineyards. See, once again, there's two trails, and I don't know which way to go, so I gotta get out all trails again. Looks like I stay to the right side here. Once again, when Saul was done battling the Philistines, the people snitched on David and told Saul where he was. So Saul took 3,000 men with him in pursuit of David, and on the way he found a cave, because he needed to have a bowel movement. This was the very cave David and his men were in, but Saul was oblivious to the fact. David's men were delighted that the Lord had delivered Saul right into their hands. But David arose and just cut off a portion of Saul's robe. He could not bring himself to kill the Lord's anointed. That was a pretty mind-distracting bowel movement for Saul, not to notice 600 men in the cave with him. I had to veer off my trail because it seemed like I was getting further and further away from the window rock. And I want to see the window rock, so there was no clear signs. So I don't know what I'm doing exactly, but we'll find it. Anyway, this is a neat overlook. there it is. Yay, I did it, I found it. Oh, isn't that just so cool? There's quite a canyon down there. We'll go up just a little bit more. Wonder if there's crazy people that go over the arch. I'm not gonna. All Trails was fussing at me for going off route, but I'm sure glad I persevered and did and followed my gut, because I didn't want to miss that epic scene. So now to find our way back. One last view. Yeah, this is fun. Just one huge rockway. Can't be doing this with no grip shoes. Okay, I am back to this intersection. In hindsight, I shouldn't have taken the west loop or the east loop. I should have taken the window arch, but it's misleading as well. Well, it goes that way, but I came from that way. Anyways, take the arch trail, not any other trail, is my suggestion. Well, when Saul left the cave after doing his business, David went after him and said, "My lord the king." Saul looked behind him, and David stooped with his face to the earth. Then David said, "Why do you listen to the people who say that I want to kill you? God gave you into my hand, and I did not kill you." Then he showed him a piece of his garment and called him father. Saul said, "Is this your voice, my son David?" Then Saul wept and said, "You are more righteous than I, for you have rewarded me with good, whereas I have rewarded you with evil." He could not believe that David did not kill him when he had such an opportunity. It is at this point that Saul admits his anticipation of David's kingship and wants David to promise that he will not cut off his descendants. David swore to it, and Saul went home. But David went into the stronghold because he still did not trust Saul. The healing hiker rating for this Navajo Trail system is a 4 out of 5. Sadly, I didn't complete the loop because I got distracted with hunting for the window rock, but I would definitely recommend it. The reason I dinged it a little bit is because it's by a town and all you see is lots of houses and buildings and wires, power lines and stuff, so that was a bit that's why I dinged it. Otherwise, it's an epic trail system and I just loved it, and you must do it, but don't follow my route. My phone said I did just over 4 miles. My battery's running low and I need to eat, so I could have done more, but anyways, I'm glad to have accomplished what I did. And here's a view of Window Rock from below. I'm at the legendary Code Talkers Plaza here. It's really neat. During World War II, in the South Pacific Theater, the Japanese were extremely proficient at breaking into military radio communications and transmissions. Thus, they were able to decipher U.S. military codes. The U.S. Armed Forces needed to find a secure method of communication if they were to have any chance of defeating a clever and intelligent foe. To counter the cleverness of the Japanese cryptographers, 29 Navajo Marines were recruited to devise a secret military code using their native language. By war's end, there were over 400 Navajo Marines serving as code talkers, and the code vocabulary had doubled. So successful was this innovative code that the Marine Corps commanders credited it with saving the lives of countless American Marines and soldiers. It enabled their successful engagements throughout the Pacific Theater, which included the battles for Guadalcanal, Wake Island, Tarawa, Saipan, Guam, Midway, Iwo Jima, and Okinawa. The code paved the way to early victory for the Allied forces in the South Pacific. Major Howard M. Connor, 5th Marine Division signal officer stationed on Iwo Jima, commented on the gallantry of the Navajo Code Talkers. Were it not for the Navajos, the Marines would not have taken Iwo Jima. Far from their homes, these brave young Navajo Marines served our nation with honor and dignity. The tale of their exploits remained a closely guarded secret for decades in the event that the Navajo Code Talkers' unique talents would be needed again. In 1968, the Navajo Code was finally declassified. In July 2001, at the National Capitol Rotunda, United States President the Honorable George W. Bush awarded the Congressional Gold Medals to the first 29 Navajo Code Talkers, their surviving spouses or children. In November of 2001, at the Navajo Nation capital of Window Rock, Arizona, the Congressional Silver Medals were awarded to the rest of the Navajo Code Talkers, their surviving spouses or children. Sadly, many of the Navajo Code Talkers have passed on, never knowing of the honor a grateful nation has bestowed upon them. The Navajo Code Talkers will never be forgotten. Can you see what an incredible man David was? He had great respect for others and trust in God. Do you do too?